friends, welcome to Bookish Bliss, our virtual book club. Every week we will dig into a section of chapters in our favorite books. Let's get started.
Hey book besties, and welcome back to Bookish Bliss for episode 92. We have a lot to discuss today.
We are continuing our journey through Sarah J. Maas's tandem read of Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn, and this week it's all about chapters 24 to 29 in Empire of Storms and 22 to 28 in Tower of Dawn. So you don't have to read the entire books, but you do need to be caught up on the chapters we're covering because we are going full spoiler mode. Amanda, darling, what are you drinking tonight?
Tonight I'm drinking a little bit of orange LaCroix because I'm in a fight with Dave's. They don't have Polar.
Oh, yep,
My
that
ginger
old
lime
lady
mule.
is stealing all your shit.
I'm pissed. They don't even have a spot for it anymore. They closed the Gap. I know. I'm like, what am I going to do?
Is
I mean, I could drive
rude.
3 minutes away to Stop and Shop and check there, but I haven't yet. So
That's not the point.
LaCroix orange it is.
Yes.
How about you, darling?
I just have some water in my Diet Coca-Cola.
Very good, darling. I also have it for backup when I finish my LaCroix because I'm going to be thirsty tonight. We got a lot of chapters.
We got a lot to say.
Indeed.
But it is crazy that we are catching up on the chapters and the books. I feel like we were further ahead in Empire of Storms.
Yeah.
And now we've done a little bit more of
But
Tower
you know
of
what's
Dawn.
crazy? My story graph says we're 50% done with Tower of Dawn, but only 38% done with Empire of Storms.
Ooh, that is very interesting.
I was like, this can't be real. And then I looked at the pages and it's true. We're in like the 300s in Tower of Dawn out of 660.
Yeah.
And then we're like 260 in Empire of Storms. So I was like, that's weird. When did it jump so much in Tower of Dawn?
Yeah. Those
But I
chapters
mean,
are just long.
yeah, their chapters are much longer. And I think there's a lot of action in this section in Tower of Dawn.
Except my chapter. I have complaints on.
Yeah, chapter 26, we'll talk about it, but it could have been a lot shorter.
It could have been
besides that,
erased.
it was like, it started off really good and then it kind of died out. But you know, it's all right.
All right. Well, cheers to episode 92 of Bookish Bliss and part 5.
Part 5, baby.
Part 5 of our tandem read. Cheers.
Cheers.
I feel like once we start getting to part 5, it's like, oh, the book's almost done and we're getting to wrap this up.
Yeah.
But we're nowhere close to wrapping this up.
I was preparing like the template for the next episode and I'm like, wow, the next episode is 6. So when we're done with 6, that will officially be halfway done.
Wow.
Because we have 6 episodes and then 6 episodes.
That's crazy.
Plus final thoughts, but
yeah, it's
crazy.
A lot.
I know. We're only almost halfway done.
Yes. Amanda, darling, what is your bookish news?
My bookish news of the week is that I have made significant progress in Glow since I downloaded it on Everend.
Yay.
And we had our book club about the Veiled Kingdom.
We
so
did.
Fun. We all loved the book.
We did.
We actually decided to continue the series and meet in February, beginning of February, but read the 2 books in the series. So it's a trilogy. So the last 2 books, which is The Hunted Heir and The Rivaled Crown by Holly Renee. I'm excited to finish the series. We decided to do 2 because the second book's like 250 pages, I think Amy said. So we're giving you extra time. Read the first one if you haven't read it yet, and then join us for the next 2.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to finish the series.
Me
I did
too.
have some feedback about it the more I sat with it because I literally finished and jumped right into the meeting. I was 10 minutes late, maybe 15 minutes late.
17. No, I'm just kidding.
Amanda was counting.
I have no idea what. I was just kidding.
But I was like, oh my fucking God, how it ended. And then the more we were talking about it, the more I was just sitting with it. I'm like, I feel like I know nothing about their magic system. Their world building is just not there for me. But I really like the characters and I really like the relationships with those characters.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah, it's definitely not high fantasy.
No.
It's more like a touch of fantasy and romance.
Yeah, and I think coming from just reading Throne of Glass and even on Wings of Blood, where the magic system or just everything is like really well explained.
Yeah.
Reading that, I'm like, oh, I think we need to add a little bit more detail here.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck's going on with the magic?
But
The
love
powers.
Dacre. He has a
Yes.
dirty mouth, and I love that.
Yeah, he does. That was amazing. I flew through it. I read it in like 2 days,
I read it in
maybe
one
3.
day.
Yeah, Megan had to. She had no choice.
I did it.
She did do it. She was like, "I don't know if I'm gonna finish." I'm like, "You need to finish."
I know. I was like, I have 100 pages and 45 minutes. And she's like, you're doing
Yeah.
it.
I'm like, "You can do it. You can do it." I'm like Bruce from Matilda, the
Yeah.
kid when they're eating the cake. "You can do it, Bruce."
It's been hectic. The holiday
Yeah.
seasons are hectic, but I just think there's a lot of stuff going on with family at this weekend with the girls sick and Jared off
Yeah.
being a super agent
Yeah.
with all the craziness going on in Providence.
Yeah.
So it was a juggling to get this done, but I did it. I did it. I am
You
reading
did do it.
a Christmas book or listening to it, but I haven't.
Ooh.
I'm listening to Good Spirits
Ooh,
by
I wanted to
BK
read that.
Blurston.
How is it?
I'm only on chapter 4, I think, but it's really cute. And the guy in the audio has like an accent. I think it's Irish, and
Oh.
I really love an Irish accent.
Ooh.
So, yeah, basically, she's visited by like the ghost of Christmas past, which is the guy. But she's like, I don't understand like why, because I'm not like a Scrooge or anything like that.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, we're going to figure out why I've been assigned here because my manager says I'm supposed to be here. So, yeah, that's
Ooh.
basically all we know so far, but it's
Yeah.
super cute. And
I do
then
wanna read that.
our in-person book club is reading
Mm.
The Collected Regrets of Clover. So,
Yes.
I haven't started it yet, but
Me
I
neither.
am excited.
I borrowed it from Libby. I downloaded Libby, which is so cool. You can listen to audiobooks for free through your library. Like, I didn't even know about this.
I know, I need to do that.
Although everything is on hold.
Oh, I'm
When you
sure.
but I did get the book club book right away. So, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's probably just like not the most popular,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I've never heard of it before.
I
It
think
was
it has good
suggested.
reviews.
Yeah, Tara already finished, one of the girls in our book club, and she loved it. So she rated it 5 stars, and she has been like Scrooge when it comes to 5 stars
Yeah.
this year.
I actually haven't rated a 5-star since we read If It Makes You Happy.
Wow. I loved that one too.
Because I don't count
There was
like,
also mixed reviews on that one in the
yeah.
book club, though.
Yeah. I cried 3 times. I'm like, I don't know how I don't give it 5 stars when it made me
There was
cry
a
3
dog
times.
POV.
Yeah.
Game over. Like, that's all it needed for
Yeah.
5 stars.
Yeah.
Like, the
But
dog was a straight up character.
I don't count like any of the you might be saying, Megan, why didn't you rate the Throne of Glass books 5 stars? Well, I don't re-rate them when I'm rereading them, so that's why that's not included. So I haven't
Yeah.
rated a book 5 stars
I had a
in a
lot of
long
5 stars,
time.
but I'm a lot easier. Like, if I enjoyed a book and would read it again, I give it 5 stars.
I think I'm in such a slump that like I need something like a Throne of Glass to get me
Yeah.
out of my slump, and I just haven't found that yet.
We should read a fantasy together, even
Mm,
though you don't wanna read, and we're already reading the Tandem read.
yeah. I'm like hoping this Christmas book I am in the holiday spirit. I'm just not in the reading spirit. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping this holiday book brings me into the reading spirit.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of audio lately.
Yeah, me too, which
I
is
like audio lately, I
surprising
don't
because
know.
I
Yeah.
could never do audio. And now I feel like that's all I want to do is audio.
Yeah. The only book I haven't well, I've been reading them and doing the audio,
Mm,
most of them, because I try to get the audios
same.
for the ones I own so that I read the books that I spend money on
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Not that I'm not spending money on the audio, but
Yeah.
I put some on hold for Libby, which is free, so I don't know. I'm into the audio, like, I got new headphones, that's probably why, because 'cause I've been wanting to
Mm.
use the headphones and it, like, motivates me to clean and listen to my book, so
Yeah. Yep. Nope. I don't know what's wrong with me. So, if anyone has any good suggestions to get me out of a reading slump,
Yes.
please let me know because I feel like I haven't read like a new book that it's like really sucked me in since like Shield of
I was
Sparrows.
literally just gonna say, "You rated that 5 stars."
Yeah, but I read if it makes you happy after that. But like
Oh, yeah.
I think when I was looking at my list for this year, I had less 5 stars than I normally do. I mean, I also
Oh.
read I think less than I normally do this year.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being more selective about what I'm reading.
We
Even
should do a 5-star posts. That
Ooh.
way everyone can see all of our 5-star reads this year.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, darling.
I love this.
Me too.
All right.
All right. Now let's get started with the good stuff and break down the tandem read part 5. We have
Well,
a lot of back and forth tonight, but we are starting with Megan, darling.
and we end with me too, darling.
Oh, a little Amanda sandwich. Love it.
All right. Empire Storms, chapter 24. Aelin, Adian, and Lysandra were on their way on the Wind Singer headed to Skulls Bay. Not that anyone on the ship knew that is where they were heading and not making the full trip to Labra. She knew it was not going to be an easy trip. They needed to travel through Adarlan waters, and Erewhon had cast a wide net. She knew she needed to risk it, though, to make sure that she got to Rowan and Dorian before Erewhon did. Adian gave Aelin the all clear that they were safe, even though Lysandra was scouting for them. Adian was like, "Can you let me do something for once?" And Aelin told him that there was no fun in letting the men do all the work. Adian talks about how Erewhon had him in his grasps for years, and he never made him into a creature or put a collar on him. He tried to put a ring on him, but he didn't even realize it was fake. Aelin says that the king left Dorian alone for years too. Maybe that goodness had extended to Adian as well. Maybe the king knew if anything happened to Adian, then Aelin would never have freed him and let the world go to hell. Aelin tells him not to focus on what could have been, to not let the thoughts of him being so close to her when she was in Dovir take over. That's what Erewhon wants, is to drive a wedge between them. Aelin also apologizes that Adian had to fight in the battle 10 years ago when he was only 14 years old. Adian reminds her that his life was chosen as a warrior way before he entered that battlefield. Aelin also doesn't blame Darrow for his decree. She would judge the same if she was him. She plans to fight him on it, but she still understands why Darrow did it. Aelin touched the amulet, which seemed to whisper that she needed to find the lock, which was a good thing Skulls Bay was on its way to the stone marshes of Eelway, and that Rolf had a magical map that could reveal hidden treasure and items that did not want to be found. She also had so many promises and debts and favors to call in, but she needed to get to Skulls Bay before Erewhon did. Wow. So, not too much, I feel like, in this chapter. Just Aelin and Adian just being like, let's not let the past come between us and let's move forward. Let's not let Erewhon get to us. That's
Yeah.
exactly what he wants. But we finally know why, or we assume we know why Maeve is heading to the coast of Eelway, because lo and behold, these stone marshes are, we were like, where the fuck are these stone marshes? Apparently, Aelin does know. They're in
Yep.
Eelway.
Yep. Right? And Skull Bay is on the way there, so
How
kill two birds with
convenient.
one stone.
And how convenient that the Pirate Lord has a magical map that can
Mhm.
find hidden treasure and items that don't want to be found, because that lock is somewhere in that stone marsh and we need to find it before Maeve does.
Indeed, darling, we need to. We better, or else we're gonna be in trouble, because I know she's a bad guy.
Mm,
I just know it in my bones.
you can feel it.
I could feel it.
We've just known from Air Fire that she's a little biatch.
She is a little biatch. If she's good, I'll be shocked. I'll be stunned.
Can you
So
imagine? Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I knew the whole time.
I know.
I think that would be my best acting job yet.
That would.
I'm just going to apologize right now that my hair is crazy. I was like, I'm going to wear a bun on tonight's show. And then I just looked bald. So then I took it down, but I washed my hair and let it air dry. So it's
It looks
crazy.
fine, darling. You're just freaking out for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, who am I impressing?
I literally just got out of the shower too. We
We're
have the same hair.
we're twinsies.
Literally, darling. All right. Empire of Storm, Chapter 25. Manon Blackbeak awoke, gravely injured in the Oakwald forest, still astride Abraxos. Her abdomen was torn open, bleeding heavily, and she knew she needed to dismount to assess the wound and find water. With the Braxos carefully helping her, she made it to the ground but collapsed mid sentence as she tried to reassure him she was fine. At twilight, she regained consciousness, sheltered warmly beneath Abraxos' wing. Weak and thirsty, she managed to sit up with his help and staggered towards a nearby stream. Though she considered removing Wingcleaver from her back, the effort seemed too dangerous in her condition. Determined to survive, she knelt and drank from the water. Her instincts flared when a twig snapped, and she rose unsteadily to face a naked auburn haired woman with piercing blue eyes. The stranger introduced herself as the Dark Knight's bloodhound, sent to retrieve his crowned rider, Manon, for him. She taunted Manon, claiming she could not escape with her belly torn open and promised cruel amusement once captured. Manon drew Wingcleaver, but the woman's form distorted, revealing a monstrous glamour, a pale creature birthed in darkness with bulging eyes, gaping nostrils, black stumps for teeth, and a long red tongue tasting the air. Drawn by Manon's scent, it found her and closed in. Abraxos reacted instantly, seizing Manon in his claws and soaring above the forest canopy. The bloodhound pursued, leaping into the air, but Abraxos struck it with his venomous tail. Though wounded, the creature survived, calling up from the forest floor that it would find her again. Exhausted and bleeding, Manon ordered Abraxos to fly towards the coast, somewhere safe, before she blacked out once more.
Everyone's going to the coast.
Manon Blackbeak is about to join the forces.
Ooh.
On the good side. I can feel it coming because they mention her later, which I'll wait till we get to there
Yep.
to mention it. But right now, our girl is hurting. Her
I
stomach, her intestines are
know.
literally hanging out of her stomach.
Yikes.
And this bitch gets up and walks to get water.
Yeah, and
She's like,
Abraxos is being a mother hen. She's like, "You mother hen." He's like,
yeah.
"Bitch, someone needs to fucking care about you."
Yeah. He's like, you would have been dead already, bitch, if it wasn't for me.
Yeah, so shut your mouth and go get your water.
Literally. And this glamour, of course, she can't just fucking drink water in peace and heal up a little bit before she has to snap back into action. So
No.
she literally just sucks her intestines in and she's like, twig.
Twig.
So it ends up being a bloodhound sent to retrieve Erewhon's crowned rider. So obviously we know now that she has both Kraken and Iron Teeth blood.
Mm-hmm.
She's got these golden eyes. They want her for a specific reason, to implant babies in that powerful womb of hers. No, I'm just kidding.
Yucky.
I don't know why they want her, but they want her. And this horrible creature, it was like pure white, right? But made of darkness with bulging eyes and gaping nostrils. What did you think? Like, what did you picture?
I don't want to
Black
know.
stumps for teeth. I'm like,
I just kind of skimmed it because I was like, I have to go to bed soon.
I can't. I was thinking like an alien looking thing, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like every time they mention a creature in this book, I just keep picturing the same one, even though they're different things.
Yeah. But Abraxos jumps into action, grabs her with his claws, and takes her out.
Mm-hmm.
The bloodhound doesn't stop. They leap into the air, but Abraxos uses his poisonous tail to bash them back down to the fucking ground.
Mm-hmm.
But she will return, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
She can literally smell her with her giant ass nostrils.
Yuck.
Freaky.
Yucky.
And Manon's blacked out. And is this the last Manon chapter too?
Yeah.
So literally she blacks out 3 times and then we don't get to know what happens next.
No. We didn't have any more Manon after this or any Alide and Lorcan.
Yeah, true. Where the fuck's Alide?
We just have the Cadre and Aelin and co.
Oh my god, I'm happy to hear Aelin back though. I love that chapter. I can't wait to get to it.
Yes. Here we go. Switching over to Tower of Dawn, chapter 22.
The enthusiasm, I love it.
Irene was contemplating not showing up to Heel Kill today after the night they had. Irene was fantasizing about Kale's hands on her legs and how he...
Ooh. Ooh.
I got too steamed. And how she wanted them all over her body. She was so worked up in her room and not able to sleep that she had to take care of herself.
Oh shit.
But even that hadn't taken much but the edge off. Irene would go to the palace today, though, because she needed to return Hazar's jewels and she would see Kale. Irene had handed over Kale's lie to Hazar about Aylin's location, and she seemed very pleased with this information. Irene, though, had a bucket of water dumped on her, though, when she strolled into Kale's bedroom and found him still in bed and sleeping next to Nezrin.
Wild.
She was very flustered about this and waited for him in the sitting room, where she saw Nezrin leave his room and go into her own. Irene told Kale that she could leave and come back while they had breakfast together, but Kale told her that wasn't necessary. He tries to tell her that nothing happened, that they fell asleep talking. Irene, throughout this interaction, keeps reminding herself why she's here in Antica and at the tour, that the world needs more healers. She needed to go back to Fenharrow and help her people, that this is what she should be focusing on. She needed to heal Kale, not to fantasize about him. While Irene had been waiting, she had been emptying her bag with all the books and scrolls she had taken from the library, and she knew that they would be safe here. Kale finally noticed them, and the color drained from his face. Kale tells Irene that the scroll has word marks on them, that they were not runes. She also tells him about the Song of Beginning and the mention of the gate keys and the 3 Valg Kings. She also shows Kale the illustration of how the Valg takes over a human body, and Kale confirms that the book is accurate. Kale then tells her she needs to hide all these books, which she does around the room, and even putting the scroll into one of his boots before hiding the boots so the scroll wouldn't be ruined or found. Kale tells Irene that he doesn't know how to read word marks, but he knows someone who does. Irene offers to show him the library sometime so that they can see if there are any other texts for his friend to read. Irene asks Kale why he only talks about Erewhon. What about the other 2 Valg Kings? Kale says that they were defeated or banished back to their world. Irene said that they should probably make sure which one it is, because if they were only banished, then they could be waiting to be let back into their world.
Oh, shit.
Which is wild that no one's really thought about this before.
Until now, yeah. Crazy.
Yes. So our girl Irene is a little flustered after her little night out, hanging with Kale,
I know.
all
She's a
that
little
smoke.
heated.
She is definitely a little heated, and she definitely was thinking about Kale when she was playing with herself. This,
Playing DJ.
this is like the first spice we've had in either book so far. And
I
it
know.
wasn't even
This
that much.
was like a soap opera. Tower of Dawn.
Literally, it's such a soap opera. And then she's like, you know what? I am going to go face Kale. And she's like all excited to see him. And she walks into his bedroom and he's in bed with
With
Nezrin.
Nezrin.
And
Oh,
Irene is like shot back to reality that technically, as far as she knows,
they're
they are
together.
together.
Yeah.
And Kale, I feel like, is immediately panicking because he can see the look on Irene's face and he cares what
I know.
Irene
He likes
thinks.
her. Yeah.
He definitely does, even though he's a little bitch at the end of this section for a second, which I'll
That's just
talk
his
about
stupid
later.
guilt. Yeah.
And he's like, no, like nothing happened. We were just talking up late, which basically they were saying to each other that they weren't
Yeah.
going to be dating each other.
Yeah.
But
And that their past had changed, basically.
yeah, which is why I'm like a little confused about in later chapters where she's like, I hold you to no promises. And then he's all mad when he reads that letter. Like, you already discussed that
Yeah.
you're not going to be together. So I don't understand why we're talking about it again.
Yeah, he was like, "You might not hold yourself to promises,
But
but I'm
I
gonna hold
do.
me." And
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
what?
"Okay."
I'm like, liar.
It's just his guilt talking. He'll be over it once he knows more about Irene.
Yes. Irene, in her flustered state, she's taking out all these books that she took from the library the night that she was being hunted there. And
Mhm.
she's like, I don't know where else to keep these, but I'll keep them here because I don't know that they'll be safe, which is so funny that she's now starting to see Kale as this like safe place, which
Safe
we'll
place.
see more at the end of this section as well.
Pisses somebody else off.
Yes. And Kale is like, "Oh my god, these texts are here and there's word marks on them and oh my god, yes, like this is true about all the Valg Kings and how the Valg take over a human body." He's like, "We need to hide these before these servants and these spies start
Start to see
chit-chatting
it.
about
Yeah.
what you just brought in here." But
Yeah.
yeah, Irene makes like a very good point at the end of this chapter. She's like, "Yeah, I'm sure you and your friends are like super good at saving the world and all, but have you ever considered the fact that those other two Val Kings may come back?"
Literally.
Crazy.
Kale shits his pants.
Mhm.
I would too, honestly. Although, why did I trust that they were just gone?
Because you were just told that and you were like, "Okay." I don't know.
That annoys me.
Well, because they're either gone or dead. Like there's no text confirming either way, and I think that's
Yeah. Well, I
why
guess also they've shown that they're like at least beatable in some
capacity.
capacity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were banished, at least.
Hmm.
More into the saga of Tower of Dawn, chapter 23. Kale was shaken to learn that he might face not just one, but three kings, having always assumed the other two were destroyed. Irene urged that they would investigate further, reminding him that anger and fear were poor foundations to begin healing, and instead began asking him questions. When she inquired about the scar on his cheek, Kale only replied that it came from someone who deserved to give it to him. Pressed about other scars, he admitted one was from his father when he was a boy. Though he offered no details, Irene explained her plan. She would search within him, and if the creature was waiting, she would attack it. Kale cautioned her to be careful as she gave him the bit to bite before laying her hands on his back. In a flashback from healing, Kale has a memory of the day he received one of his scars. After telling his father he was leaving Eniel for Rifthold, his father kicked him out and he fell down the stairs into a stone pillar, leaving the mark. His mother pleaded for mercy, but his father dismissed him as pathetic and ordered him to find his own way. When his brother, Terran, tried to help, their father's command stopped him. Kale rose alone and went to the guards, who supplied him with a cloak, sword, knife, horse, and provisions. Those guards were later banished with their families, proof to Kale that Aniel punished good men while protecting the corrupt. He had been right to leave and stand by Dorian, though he sent gold to find the families, they were never located. His thoughts spiraled to past traumas: Nehemiah's death, his failure to warn Selena, Aylin's forgiveness, and Selena's words that he would never be her friend. He told the darkness to take it, bracing for its attack, but instead it vanished, replaced by images of Oakwald Forest, a cottage, and a woman teaching a child about healing plants. The child's joy and laughter filled him with warmth, and when he awoke, he discovered he could move his feet, not just his toes. Seeking Irene, Kale found her alone in the garden, crying. She explained she wasn't hurt but overwhelmed, as her mother had appeared during the healing session. She had forgotten her mother's face and voice. Irene recounted how her mother killed a man to give her time to escape, and how she watched her mother scream as they built the fire. At 11, she fled north to her cousin's farm, working there for 6 years before setting out again. She walked for months through Fenharrow, Oakwald, and mountains until reaching Inish, where she worked as a barmaid for a year to earn money for passage. Believing she would need to pay for her education at the Tour Sesame, she stayed and worked until she could finally attend. When Kale asked how she got there, she deflected, changing the subject back to his scar. Kale confirmed that the old king had given him it and had been possessed for the last decade, and apologized for keeping it a secret. Irene told him it only gave her more reason to fight the darkness within him. She explained that she could combat it by focusing on happy memories, and was grateful that the memory of her mother had helped push the darkness back. She reminded Kale that none of his father's cruelty was his fault, and that he deserved better. Noticing his progress, she examined his feet, thrilled at the improvements. Opening up had strengthened her healing, and when Kale invited her to dinner, she surprised him by saying yes. Some serious progress has been made in this chapter.
Yes.
With their relationship, with their healing process individually
Mhm.
and together.
I know.
Hey, we're getting somewhere.
Thank God.
Thank goodness. Irene has figured it out. She knows how to combat the darkness now. She's thinking of happy memories
Mhm.
that make the darkness vanish, I guess.
Yeah.
Kale is literally bracing himself for the pain, and all of a sudden it's just like this happy memory.
Yeah.
And it makes him happy and Irene, but also overwhelmed and sad because she had just forgotten her mother's voice and
Yeah.
what she looked like, which was sad. But at the same time, she is proud that her mother had helped her.
Yes.
figure this out, which was sweet.
Totally.
In the beginning of this chapter, Kale is visibly shooketh by this news that he's not going to have to fight one king, but 3, potentially.
It's a good thing that you're not the only person who would be doing this.
Yeah, literally.
How self-centered of you, Kale.
Irene was like, we have to fucking change the subject because we can't do any healing in this negative space of this anger and fear. We can't do it. So she's like, oh, where'd you get that scar? Where'd you get that scar? And honestly, I feel like the foreshadowing with Selena Sardothian / Aelin keep coming up. I feel like eventually they're going to meet. I feel like it's coming faster than the end of the books, but that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like every time Kale and Irene are together, there's like a nod to both of their relationships with the same person. And they haven't said it yet or figured it out. I'm like,
Yeah. I think
when are you going to get
obviously
it?
they're going to figure it out before,
Yeah.
Irene
Before they meet her. Yeah.
meets Aelin.
Yeah. I figured, but still, I'm like, I just want them to know.
Yeah. It just even just all the craziness that happens before. Oh, like these books are just like I feel like we're in this like weird lull of waiting for craziness to start happening.
Yeah.
And it's making me anxious reading it so slowly.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. We have to get the backstory. We have to develop the characters and the relationships and the planning. We're moving on 2 continents here. Like, it takes time, I'm sure.
That is true.
We get backstories for both of them. So it's like they really, truly are physically both healing or mentally both healing, I guess.
Yeah.
Emotionally, whatever. This scar from his dad, and Irene really understanding and telling Kale that the cruelty of his father was nothing that he ever did, or it wasn't his fault at all.
No, I definitely think that conversation was needed to be had, but it's just so
Yeah.
interesting how she's like, I don't want to start this healing on such a negative note after talking about the Val Kings. And she's like, how'd you get those scars?
Yeah.
Like, that's not very positive.
Yeah, no, I don't know where she was thinking. Maybe she was like, oh, he'll have like a heroic warrior story and like lift his spirits or something. But I was like, this seems like it's going to be sad too, because we know how he got that scar.
Yeah,
I'm like, ooh, what's he going to say?
This is still negative.
Yeah. So instead, they like discuss this tiny little scar on his forehead, not the big gash across his face. But that's okay. I'm sure it'll be for another time.
Yes.
In our healing process. He knows he left Annie out for a good reason. He followed Dorian. He even was helped by these guards, and his father banished them and their families. Like, what a douchebag. So he's like, I did the right thing. Fuck Aniel.
Yeah.
That's how I felt too, reading it.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, but we end on a good note with them too. They're going to dinner and they're going to further their conversation.
And he can move his feet.
Yes, and he can move his feet, not just his toes.
Yes.
Big improvement physically for him.
Going back to Empire of Storms, chapter 26. Dorian and Rowan had been in Skulls Bay for 2 weeks, and Rolf had refused to meet with them, even though they had made multiple requests. So they spent most of their time training and practicing Dorian's magic. Dorian wasn't sure how Aelin had survived Rowan's training, and never mind falling in love with him, but Dorian says that they both possess sadistic traits. Dorian said sometimes Fenris and Gabriel would join them, and sometimes Rowan would kick them out. Rowan usually did this when Dorian was having a rough day with all that happened with the Valg and Sorsha. They got reports about the witches who had taken over Rifthold. Ships were sailing into the Avery, carrying strange soldiers and beasts that had turned the city into their own personal hunting ground. They had wanted to know where the Armada had been this whole time. Some had been stationed in the Gulf of Oro off the coast of Eelway. Some were hidden in Melisandre's ports. Their queen was letting in any of Marath's creatures, apparently. And Erewhon had skillfully hidden the ships. And while Dorian's meetings were on trade and slaves while he was in the castle, it was all a distraction for what was really going on with their fleet. They had no new news of Maeve and her ships, and they still had no word on Aelin and co. low. They also had no word on Holland and Queen Georgina, though only Dorian seemed to care about what happened to them. Dorian decided he was tired of waiting for Rolf to meet with them, so Dorian faked a letter to himself saying he received word on war-changing news that even Rolf could benefit from. A few hours later, the whole cadre and Dorian were heading to meet with Rolf in his office. Rolf told them that this news better have been worth his time, but when he unlocked his door to his office, Aelin was sitting behind his desk. She had her feet up and told him that she liked his new office better than his old one.
Yes, the bitch is back.
The girl loves a dramatic entrance.
She does. And we get to see Selena one more time. We keep thinking it's the last, but it's never the last.
She's always got some tricks up her sleeve.
Yep. She'll forever be Selena and Aelin.
Yes, but I love this bonding time that Dorian and Rowan are having these
Mm-hmm.
past 2 weeks, waiting to see where the fuck Aelin is because they have no idea. They've heard not to whisper of
Nope.
her location. And they're practicing Dorian's magic. He's working out in the yard with Rowan, sometimes with Gabriel and Fenris, but he's getting, the Rowan special, and he's not quite sure how Aelin fell in love with Rowan
Yeah.
because Rowan's a tough trainer.
Yeah, she's like, he's like, well, they're both psychos.
So maybe this is why it works.
Yeah.
But they're getting reports coming in from Riftholds about the witches
Yeah.
taking over the city, all these beasts that are now coming in, kind of where Erewhon had stored the Armada during the last, 10 years. He's basically just been sitting and waiting on all of this maneuvering
Yeah.
pieces. And he's pretty set up like all over this continent. So Erewhon
Yep.
is in a good position and we are screwed.
Yep. I have the same feeling.
But we get a quick mention of his brother Holland and Queen Georgina, though no one has heard from him
Or cares where
besides
they are.
or cares where they are. Besides Dorian's like, maybe I should care about where my brother and
Yeah.
my mother is, but he doesn't
Literally.
even seem overly concerned.
Nope.
This is why I think Holland is the king of Hybern. Just escapes. Though I actually cannot even remember what the fate is of Queen Georgina and Holland. I don't even remember.
I feel like the Valg probably took them over.
Well,
Or at
Holland
least
was
controlling them.
named heir, so he's the crown
Yeah.
prince, but nobody knows where he is.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's probably got a Valg inside him.
Yes.
Got a Valg prince inside him.
But Dorian's just sick and tired of waiting around here in Skulls Bay, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to take matters into my own hands because I am a fucking king. And so he fakes this letter to himself. Rowan has great acting skills, acting all annoyed and enraged with whatever this letter says. So
Yeah.
the spies get back to Rolf that Dorian received this letter. Finally, Rolf will meet with them. And as Rolf is unlocking the door to his office, our little bestie, Aelin Galathinius, is sitting behind his desk.
Yup.
Feet up.
Feet up, chilling. She's like, threatening to kill me. Who gives a fuck? Here I am, bitch.
But before we get into what Aelin has to say in Rolf's office, we are switching quickly back to Tower of Dawn, chapter 24. Nezra knew that Kale was feeling guilty about Irene, and that is what had prompted their talk last night. Nezran had already been a replacement in his life for 2 women so far, so what was a third? Well, that is what she kept telling herself as she walked the city looking for any sign of the Valg, but finding none. Nezran then headed towards the area and found Kadara alone, but Sartok was right behind her. He had his spies, but he was also leaving within the hour to head back to his riders. We also learn that he considers the riders and Kadara his family. It's hard to be close with his siblings when they lived in the predicament they are in with who will inherit the throne. Sartok asks for Nezran to join him in the mountains for the next 3 weeks. He was going to see if he could learn more from his people about the Valg and make sure they were all staying in line. Nezran at first thought she needed to check in with Kale, and also annoyed that Sartok wasn't going to say goodbye to her. But he thought that she would have been in bed all day with Kale because he certainly would have kept her in bed all day after last night's events.
Ooh.
The servants continued to pack up Kadara and supplies for the prince, and she made her decision. She would join him, and she didn't have anything she needed to pack. She wrote 2 letters. One was to her family, and the next was to Kale, which was pretty short and brief. She let him know where she was going, but also that she was holding him to no promises while she was gone, and she was holding none of her own. As they flew away, Sartok tells Nezarin that he prayed to the eternal sky and all 36 gods that she would say yes, and she told him so did she.
Oh,
I know. We're
the
pairing off.
beginning of a beautiful new relationship / adventure for our Nezarin.
Yes.
She deserves it.
Yeah, she's feeling really, even though they had the talk and she also kind of feels the same way, because I think she also is crushing on Sartok. So she
Yeah,
probably also is feeling a little guilty as well.
yeah.
But
I think if Kale showed more interest in her, though, she wouldn't have even looked at Sartok.
I don't know though, because he definitely was still trying to get her attention when they first arrived. And she shut him out, stayed in her own room, was doing her own thing. And
That's true, but that I feel like was because Rifthold was ransacked and they left.
but he was trying to like be there for her and she wanted nothing to do with it. So I also feel like she's just as guilty as Kale. They're just not what each other needs.
Yeah,
But I do feel like Kale was trying because he was trying to be a better man, I think. And then when he wasn't getting the reciprocation, like she didn't even let him know she was staying at her family's for dinner. I think he just started
true.
backing off and leaning more towards Irene because she wasn't giving him any energy. And he kissed her, pulled her in for a kiss, like invited her into his bed, and she just like
Yeah.
wasn't having it. So I think it's a
He made a
little,
comment too about Rin babying him almost,
yes.
like doing everything for him. And Irene makes him do everything himself. She doesn't even touch his wheelchair until later in the
She has
section
to.
for the
Yeah.
first time. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they just don't understand each other in that way. I think they have
Yeah.
a lot of respect for each other and they care for each other. They just don't know what each other needs at
Yeah.
the end of the day. So I think it's a little unfair for us to put this all on Kale because I think Nezrin is just as guilty of their
Yeah.
relationship not going anywhere.
You're very right. But only one of them feels guilty about it.
Yes. Yes.
The others have heart eyes for Princess.
Well, I think like she's kind of in her like feels as she's walking around the city looking for Valg.
Yeah. Well,
But
she also deserves an adventure and happiness too. So,
of course.
yeah,
Yeah. I think that this was the best decision that she could make. I think it was smart
indeed.
for her to go, but I also think she could have had the respect to,
To tell him to his face that he's
yes, and
leaving.
pack up
Yeah.
her clothes, not just
I
send a
feel like that's
letter.
probably what he's most upset about. Not even that she went, but that she left a note instead of
Yeah, and I
telling him.
think that's where his guilt is coming from. It's like she couldn't even
Yeah.
come here to like tell me to my face that she was going off and she deserves adventures. And I just think her just not being in communication with him is like kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
So
I think she
I don't
probably
like,
didn't know how to tell him and was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go."
yeah. I mean, good for her, but also what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because I
I'm happy with it though because I want Kale and Irene to be together now.
no, I'm like not upset with Nezrin and Kale breaking up. I don't know. I feel like we're putting all this shit on Kale when she's
Yeah,
doing
no,
the
no,
same
no.
thing.
Kale's my boy. I am not putting it all on him. I'm just saying Nezrin deserves to be happy too. That's all.
She does, but
Yeah,
she needs to work on her communication skills. Hopefully with the prince she can't do
indeed.
that.
Yeah.
And
Which
he
we do see a cute moment between them later, so.
yeah, I mean, I love how this chapter ends. He's like, "I prayed to the eternal sky and all 36 gods that you'd come with me." I
She's like,
love
"Me
that.
too."
She's like, "Yeah, I'm so excited."
Thanks. So
Yeah.
glad I'm here.
Yeah. So we'll see.
We'll see. Putting the soap opera on hold for a second to return to the Pirate Lord
Yes.
and Aelin back in the same room. This was my favorite chapter in this whole section,
I
so I'm really
know.
excited about this one. Okay. Empire of Storms, Chapter 27. Rolf and Selena Sardathian exchanged sharp words with Selena's trademark wit and defiance on full display. Dorian and Rowan played along with her ruse, even as she teased Rowan, who firmly stated he was happily taken when she flirted with him, as Selena. Rolf pressed her to get to the point, so she declared that war was coming, wanting to know what her old friend planned to do. Rolf turned to Dorian, reminding him that Selena had once been the king's champion, asking if he wanted to deal with her instead. Dorian dryly replied that no one deals with Selena Sardathian. They simply survive her. Rolf then asked what had become of the 16-year-old girl who had destroyed his fleet to free slaves, and Selena retorted that a year in Andovier had taught her to play a different game. Rolf reminded her that he promised she would pay for her arrogance, and she agreed, noting that Arab Hamel had paid too. Rolf caught her in the act of stealing emeralds, ordering her to drop them, which she did with a laugh, mocking his age and eyesight, which is so funny to me because isn't he like 20?
He's like maybe close to 30, but
Yeah, maybe
he's
30.
not
Like, that's
old at all.
so funny. I was laughing to myself. Aelin then asked him two pointed questions. Had he or his men dealt with slaves since that day, and had he offered sanctuary to those who reached his shores? Rolf admitted that he had not engaged in the slave trade again, and though they did not actively seek to help, those who arrived were given sanctuary. Aelin was satisfied with his answer, though Rolf remained bitter about the fortune she had cost him, which she gleefully taunted him about, even bringing up her old bar tab. Furious, Rolf declared that his price for joining their war effort was the death of Selena Sardathian. Aelin dismissed the demand outright, revealing her true identity as Aelin Galathinius. Before unveiling herself fully, she toyed with Rolf by presenting Lysandra, disguised as her twin. But Rolf quickly saw through the trick, spoiling her fun. Lysandra shifted back to her true form, shocking even Rowan's cadre with the revelation of her shifter abilities. Aelin, intrigued by the cadre's presence, noted that their recognition alongside Dorian's confirmed her identity beyond doubt. Finally, she confronted Ralph directly, demanding to know why he continued to refuse aiding her cause. Oh, what a great chapter. I miss Selena Sardathian.
She's sassier than Aelin.
She's way sassier than Aelin.
Aelin's too stressed.
Yeah, she's like so responsible and annoying. I like irresponsible bitch Selena.
No, she was annoying as fuck. So
I know she was, but she's way more
she's
like,
funnier.
yeah, she's sassy. She don't give a fuck. Rolf's like, the next time you come here, I'm gonna kill you, and she's like, what up, bitch?
Yeah.
How you doing, my old friend? And he's like, I fucking can't stand you. He's like, Dorian, and he's like,
I want
not
nothing.
me.
Not
Not
me.
me. Yeah. He's like, no, you ain't tapping me in here.
And Rowan's just getting turned on.
Yeah. She's flirting with Rowan. She's like, you, I don't know, but I would like to. And he's like, I'm happily taken. I'm like, oh, it's so good.
I
It's
love
so
it.
good. I fucking can't. The taunting does not stop. Rolf
Oh, no.
mentions how when she was 16, she destroyed his fleet to free some slaves, and that he cost him like a fortune, basically, which she's like, yeah, I know that tab that night was a fortune. My bad. Never paid it.
She's like,
Not
never gonna
mentioning all the
either.
ships you fucking sunk or broke. I love the little dig at Arab Hamel too, that he had paid for his arrogance, as well as she agrees she had to, which she did. Obviously losing Sam. She's stealing fucking emeralds, and he's like, bitch, put that down. What do you think you're doing? She had one in her mouth. She's like,
But he clocked her. She's like actually a really good match for him.
yeah, I know. I feel like he enjoys it too much. Like, he'll never actually kill her. He loves her.
That would have been like a great, actually, if Rowan never existed, if like Rolf was
Ooh.
the one, because their banter is just too good.
I know, it's
But
so
he is
good.
older than her by a lot, like a lot. But
Oh, Rowan isn't?
that's true.
He has fucking centuries on her.
I feel like
Rolf's got like years, not even a decade.
I think it's just so different when you think about like humans, men, and like a girl, like human girl, even though she's
Not
not
that
human.
bad.
And then like a
He's
centuries
30
old
and she's
fae
what?
is just
22?
yeah.
It's
I
not
can just
bad.
rationalize the fae age difference better.
563 versus 30.
Yeah.
She's like, experience matters. I can justify it.
It's just different in my head. I don't know why.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, because this is real life. I'd be like, ew.
Yeah.
Unless it was a Fey male in real life, and then I'd be like, okay.
True. So the last part of this chapter, which was the best, was Lysandra pretending to
Mm,
be Aylin's twin.
yeah.
Ralph's even like, "What the fuck's going on?" He's like, "What is this devilry?" I think he says. I'm like, "Devilry, Jesus."
So funny.
He's like, "I know you don't have a twin," and she's like, "Oh, fine." And then Lysandra shows her shifter abilities in front of the cadre, who's even like, "Ooh, ah,
A shifter.
yeah." Another shifter because they're all shifters, all the cadre.
Yeah. I feel like Gabrielle's just like the old man of this group being like, oh, I can't. And
Mm-hmm.
Fenris is like, yeah.
Literally. And Rowan's just like, "That's my girl. That's my girl."
And
And
Dorian's just
Dorian's
Dorian.
like,
Yeah.
he's
It's like, is this meeting over yet?
like, "This bitch is crazy, but I love her."
Yeah. This is my best friend.
Yeah. I can't. So now they're about to talk business. Why you keep refusing to aid her cause, Ralph? We're about to get to the bottom of it.
I mean, it comes down to one simple reason is he just doesn't like her. But here
Yeah.
we go.
He's just
Empire
power hungry.
Yeah. Empire of Storms, Chapter 28. Aelin was feeling quite smug and proud of herself for her reveal to Ralph. As she went to sit down for a chat, Rowan approached her and filled her in on everything he found out since they had been apart. About the cadre here, Lorcan, Maeve, the Gulf of Oro, so many things, but most importantly, that he had missed her. She had missed him too and gave him a big smooch to prove it in front of everyone.
Uh-huh.
Aelin basically tells Rolf that they both hate each other, but they both hate being told what to do by others and that they could be the perfect pairing. Murtaugh and Dorian would support Aelin's word, but Rolf doesn't want to hear it. He just thinks she's just young and idealistic and knows nothing about winning a war. The only thing that he would consider is if she offered him to be her king, not just the pirate king. Though that didn't go over well with Aelin or Rowan, and Rolf basically kicks them out of his office and tells them they have 2 days to get off his island or his promise about killing her on sight will stand.
Oh.
Gabriel tries to get Aelin to tell him where Adian is, but Lysandra had whisked Adian away to have the father-son encounter for the first time on Adian's terms and not Gabriel's. Aelin also
Mm-hmm.
tells Gabriel not to give her orders. They all went back to the Ocean Roads, besides Gabriel and Fenris, for a catch up. Aelin told Dorian she was sorry about Rifthold. They also contemplated what having Manon Blackbeak would mean having her on their side. Aelin caught them
Indeed.
up on her conversation with Brannon and the lock. She didn't think it was a coincidence that Maeve was sailing for the exact location she needed to be to get the lock, but small steps on her ever growing list. Right now, she needed to get Rolf to cooperate and get his assistance in tracking down the lock, and she needed to make sure that his map worked.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rolf and Aelin continue to bicker back and forth, but really, when it comes down to it, is Aelin is offering him a better world and not to just be the pirate lord, but a pirate king. And he's like, you know nothing, little girl, about real
Yeah.
life and running a war, basically.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I will consider, which I know you will never offer, which is, I think, the only reason why he suggests this, is that she make him her king consort and he'll consider, allying with her, which is
Yeah.
obviously never going to happen.
No. Not with Rowan around, that's for damn sure.
Yeah,
Not
even
even without Rowan around, honestly.
yeah, even he throws Murtaugh's letter of recommendation into the trash without even reading it.
Mhm.
Dorian says that he will, put in gives his recommendation for Aelin that with Aelin and him together, the two biggest territories, on this continent running this after the war is over, he can, have his own country, not just,
Yeah.
an island. And he just thinks that the two of them are idiots
Delusional.
and delusional,
Yeah.
which it is a big task. It's a tall task. But if anyone's going to pull it off, it's them.
But, like, what are your other options, bro? They're not gonna just leave you to run rampant on your fucking islands.
Yeah, maybe once he has time to just consider,
For sure.
he'll
He's
come
gonna
around.
agree. He's joining the forces. He has to. He's Rolf.
He's Rolf.
He's not that dumb.
But for right now, he's like, get the fuck off my island. But he gives them 2 days to figure out how they're getting off
Yeah.
the island. He doesn't immediately say, you need to
That's
get
what
off
I
right now.
mean. That's plenty of time to stew and be like, never mind, you can stay.
Yeah. Gabriel wants to have daddy son time with his, newly found son. But Aylin's like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's not going to happen. This is going to be on Adian's terms. And don't you ever try to tell me what the fuck to do.
Yeah. She's like, "Who the
Um,
fuck you think you are, brah? You ain't Rowan."
yeah.
Not that he even gives her orders, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
That's daddy.
Aelin and Dorian have a little catch up. She says that she's sorry. She's glad that Rowan saved him, that, Rowan needs to have his like savior complex come in every once in a while. So
Yeah.
he was glad to do this, which Rowan is like, okay, yeah, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
But also, she's like, we're both, without our crowns because of little pieces of paper. And Dorian says, though, maybe that's not such a bad thing. It is a
Yeah.
bad thing, Dorian. Get your head out of the gutter.
Fucking Dorian.
He's sad. A lot has happened all at once, and he
I
really
know.
hasn't had the time to process it, but it is
Or have any say of what's going on.
right.
He's just along for the ride at this point.
Yeah, he literally is along for the ride and trying to throw his, royalty weight around, but at this point it's like, what is it even worth? And she's
It's
like,
basically just to stall until Aelin gets there to get shit done.
but also Aylin's kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
She's just sassier about it and is gonna stomp her feet and
Well, I feel like she has a
get her
little bit more
way.
of a plan than Dorian.
That's true. But she has more information than Dorian.
True. True, true, true.
Which she catches them up on about the meeting with Brannon and
Yeah.
how they have to find this lock and how they really need to get Rolf to cooperate because they need the map on his body to find this lock before
Yeah.
Maeve does. So we're
He's
always
gonna
in a
come around.
predicament.
We're always in a fucking predicament.
Yep.
It's okay, Dorian. Madame Blackbeak's on her way. You'll be okay soon.
Yeah, you'll be happier when she's around.
Yeah. All right. Empire of Storms, chapter 29. I think this is our last Empire of Storms chapter,
It
right?
is. Yes.
Yeah. Adian found himself distracted by Lysandra in her current form, auburn hair, green eyes, while they lingered in the grim alleys of Pirates Bay, the place that held the only map leading Aelin to the lock. Though stealing it was impossible, the plan was to bait Ralph's attention. Lysandra caught Adian staring at her chest, and he began to doubt the scheme, wondering why Ralph would care about the Amulet of Orinth when there were countless treasures on his island. Rowan, however, believed the amulet would be enticing enough. Adian reflected on Lysandra's growth, recalling her shifts from tiny creatures like bees and hummingbirds to larger forms such as leopards, bears, and horses, noticing that her transformations into bigger animals required longer intervals, as though her magic needed time to recharge. Dorian soon approached with Rowan's orders, asking if there was anything to report. Lysandra replied that there was nothing, not even a trace of Rolf's men. Adian remarked on how Dorian and Rowan hadn't killed each other, but Dorian was baffled, insisting he was grateful since Rowan had saved his life. When Dorian asked if Adian had planned to see his father, Adian admitted he would, but quickly dismissed Dorian, telling him to pass along a message to Rowan and Aelin to stop hovering. Once Dorian left, Lysandra chastised Adian, urging him to treat Dorian with more respect. Adian struggled to forgive Dorian for stabbing Aelin, even though he hadn't been in control of his own body and Aelin herself had forgiven him. He promised to try harder, though the conversation stirred feelings of attraction towards Lysandra. All he could think about was her mouth. Lysandra then asked if Adian truly wanted to meet his father, and Adian questioned whether Gabriel even wanted to see him. Lysandra assured him that Gabriel did, recalling how furious he had been when Aelin kept Adian's location from him, though she sensed he would respect Adian's wishes if he chose not to meet him. Ultimately, Adian admitted he wanted to meet his father and wanted Lysandra by his side when he did. Their thoughts were interrupted when a young girl suddenly appeared, claiming she had taken a wrong turn. Lysandra told her to wait, but she didn't, and after 10 minutes, no one else came. Lysandra remarked that the girl seemed an unlikely thief, though the same could have been said of her and Aelin. They speculated that perhaps the girl didn't even know what she was searching for, and with that, they returned to the Ocean Road, still pondering the strange encounter.
I don't know who annoys me more, Kale or Adian.
Yeah.
I think Adian,
I was
honestly.
going to say probably Adian, but I'm biased because I love Kale.
He's just so annoying.
I know. He is so annoying. He obviously has a thing for Lysandra, though, but is it because she has big ass tits and acting like a little hooker?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. It gives him an excuse to be like a flirty douchebag, I guess.
Yeah. He just rubs me the wrong way. He's always just
Yeah.
like,
Being mean to Dorian for no reason.
he's
Like,
being mean to
bro.
Dorian for no reason. He even says to Lysandra, right? Like, you're not third in charge. Like, you're not going to give me orders. Like,
Yeah.
it's just gross.
Yeah. Like, puff his chest out kind of guy.
Yeah.
Instead of like, I don't know,
Even to Aelin
being
at the
understanding.
first chapter, and he's like, can you let the men do stuff for once?
Yeah.
I'm like,
He
ew,
has ego problems for sure.
grow up.
He's always like, "Will you tell me the plan, Aelin?" She's like, "No,
Yeah.
bitch. You'll know when you're supposed to know."
Yeah. Stay in your place,
But
Adian.
good for Lysandra for saying something and being like, "Bro, what the fuck's up with the dude?
Yeah.
Chill."
Literally.
Dorian is unbothered though. He does not care. He's like,
Ugh,
"Go meet
yeah.
your dad.
Yeah.
Shut up."
Shut the fuck up and handle your trauma like I am.
Yeah, literally.
You don't see me acting like an asshole and I have trauma to deal with.
I know. Aiden does open up a little bit though to Lysandra, saying, does he even want to see him, his dad? Like, does he even want to meet him? And Lysandra like confirms obviously the encounter between Aelin and him.
Yeah. I feel like there was just like a weird chapter.
Yeah, definitely a little filler. Obviously, we're trying to bait
Rolf.
Rolf into seeing if his map works
Right.
because we have this treasure, this amulet of Orinth, and we're trying to lure him there basically. But Lysandra even says there's not even a whiff of any of his men. So he obviously doesn't care or he knows it's a trap.
Yeah. Which he's very smart. So he probably just knows it's a trap.
Yeah, he's probably
He
like,
was
these
already tricked once that
dumbasses.
day. Like, never mind
Yeah.
twice.
Literally. Back to the soap opera
Oh,
of Tower of Dawn.
yes.
Chapter 25. Irene and Kale hurried to the Torah library to continue their research on the Valg and the word marks. The librarian, Nusha, was reluctant to show them where she had found the books, but they reassured her it would not cause trouble. As they descended deeper into the library, Kale was grateful for the ramps, though Irene had to assist him with a few stairs. Something he had realized was this was the first time she had touched his wheelchair. Irene explained that the Torah library had been built 1,500 years ago in a single effort gifted by an ancient queen to a healer who had saved her child, intended as a sanctuary for healers to study. Remarkably, it had outlasted the queen's own castle, which was destroyed by conquerors a generation before the Cognate. Reflecting on the history, Irene questioned why the king of Adarlan had chosen to destroy those with magical gifts when healers were always in demand. Kale explained that the king had been invaded by the Valg, but was still fighting within himself. To prevent the Valg from possessing magic wielders, he ordered their destruction, realizing the demons sought to use them as vessels for greater power. He also temporarily banished magic to protect them, though the decision haunted him. Kale speculated that the Valg might want something specific from healers, or perhaps sought to prevent them from uncovering truths about wounds like his own. They discussed word marks, with Kale mentioning he had a friend who could read them, before gathering books under the guise of curing his toe fungus, a cover story in case anyone overheard their conversation. Meanwhile, Nezrin, Sartok, and Kadara landed atop a small mountain range. Nezrin, not used to such long rides, mostly needed a break to relieve herself. When she tried to remove Kadara's saddle, Sartok stopped her, explaining they kept saddles on during travel in case of ambush or danger. Seems smart.
Hmm.
Sartok asked if she had seen wyverns before, and Nezrin confirmed she had, noting that rucks were only two-thirds of half the size of a wyvern. I think it says exactly.
Hmm.
She mentioned that people call him the Winged Prince, though Sartok already knew, finding it strange to have legends about him while he still lived. Nezrin pointed out that the same was true for her comrades, Aelin and Adian, whom Sartok had also heard of. Nezrin thought of her mother, who had called her Windseeker, always restless and following where the wind led. Together, she and Sartok observing the stars, which looked foreign compared to those of the northern continent. Nezrin doubted there were any stories about her, but Sartok assured her there were. She was known as Neith's arrow to his spies, named after the goddess of archery and the hunt. Nesrin, skilled with a bow, admitted to herself that she loved archery because it gave her direction and focus, and it made her smile. Aww, little love story there,
Yes.
blooming. But first, let's go to the beginning of this chapter where we are with Kale and Irene in the library, going down all these fucking ramps, I should say. I almost said stairs, but they're not stairs, they're ramps, thank God, or else I feel bad for Irene and Kale for having to push him back to the top because it seems like they're going down for a long ass time.
Yeah.
But we learn a little bit of the history of the library. It was built 1,500 years ago by a queen who had built it for a healer who saved her child. And it was intended as a sanctuary for healers to study, which is exactly how it's still in use 1,500 years later.
Mm-hmm.
It outlasted the queen's castle, destroyed by conquerors before the Coggin.
The Coggin came to be.
Yeah, before the Coggin came to be. So just a little history there that we learned. And Irene also learns, that the king was invaded by this Valg a decade ago, and everything that basically happened in our story so far. His main reason for banishing magic in Rifthold and by killing all these magic people was because he believed it was a better fate than being trapped by these Valg.
Yeah.
Which was a horrible decision to have to make, but also he hated himself for it, but knew it was the right thing to do, or at least he thought it was the right thing to do in the moment.
Yeah.
Could not have been easy for him.
Right.
But Irene kind of finds a little bit of forgiveness, I think. She's a little shocked by learning this because she hated the king and his kingdom basically for so long for what happened to her mom and her family. But I feel like she does understand a little bit more.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's
Which
still
is
weird, but
yeah, for sure.
she's listening at least now.
She knows the conversations have to be had. The healing process has to take place for both of them, and I feel like this is a step in the right direction.
For sure.
Then we move on to Nesrin, who is with Sartok. They just land on a mountaintop. They talk about wyverns. They talk about what else do they talk about
Their
here?
legacy that they're leaving.
Yes, how there's all these stories about Sartok already, and Nesrin doesn't believe there's any about her, but he's like, my spies know you as Neith Arrow because she's so good with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Love that. She has that confidence. It makes her smile. She talks about Aiden Aylin, who he also knows.
Yep.
Another nod also from Kale to Aylin about her knowing how to read word marks.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Just saying.
That revelation is coming. I can feel it. That they know the same person.
So funny. All right. Just prefacing before I start this chapter, I hate it. I'm only reading my summary and we are not talking about it.
Oh, okay. It's also way shorter than the actual chapter.
It's pages long and it's literally pointless.
Yeah.
All right. Tower of Dawn, chapter 26. Irene and Kale had dinner together, and the cook shoved a lot of food down their throats. Irene has Kale spend the night in the physician's complex, and Kale writes a note to Nesrin that he is having a sleepover at the Tor. Irene fusses over Kale in his room, but Kale says that he has good aim and can use the bathroom by himself. This is so boring because Irene doesn't even spend the night. She goes back to her own room and has her mentor, Arisha, escort Kale back to the palace the next morning, where Kale finds both his note and the note from Nesrin saying she flew away with the prince. This angers Kale because he knows that he was just using Nesrin and now he's in a bad mood. For the rest of the chapter, he takes out his frustration on Irene, who doesn't understand his mood swings like we do. Irene sasses him back to the point when he was done exercising, he kicks her out of his room. Irene finds out from the Princess Hazar that Nesrin took off without her belongings with Sartok, and Irene knows that this is why Kale is mad. Now Irene is going to help sick people. The end.
Yep. I mean, that pretty much sums it up. Megan literally will not say a word about it. She's like, fuck these people. Yeah, basically, Kale was being a douche, and Irene was like, I have to heal someone if I can't heal you. So we shall continue.
I just don't even want to talk about Kale and his bad behavior in this chapter.
I know.
All the progress for what?
I know.
To treat her like shit when she's done nothing wrong but help you? Fuck you.
Because he feels guilty about how badly he treated Nesrin.
So let's treat another woman with disrespect.
Yeah.
Oh, this is why I wasn't going to talk
Almost
about it.
wanted to push her away so that she, I don't know, didn't get close to him after that. He's like, no more. I can't get close to no more.
Bite me.
I know. Get over it, Kale. Okay. Tower of Dawn, chapter 27. Irene spent the day healing 6 people in the slums: a woman suffering from a dangerous lump in her lungs, 3 feverish children, a man with a broken leg, and a 16-year-old girl with bruises, a black eye, and a split lip. With the girl, Irene eased her, but pain. Oh, Irene eased her pain but deliberately left the marks, unwilling to erase evidence of her suffering. Though drained, she felt satisfaction in helping, yet carried a restless energy, knowing something remained unsettled. After grabbing food from a stall and hastily eating lamb, she returned to the palace, determined to confront Kale. On her way, Irene felt a prickling sense of danger and heard footsteps behind her. A voice urged her first to hurry, then to run. Only later did she realize it was her mother's voice. She obeyed, sprinting down the hall as whatever pursued her began to chase. She reached Kale's room, locked both bolts, and frantically told him to get inside while she barricaded the door. The creature slammed against the outer door, rattling the knob, and Irene's fear was plain. Kale, however, shifted into guard mode, securing exits and preparing for a fight. The thing ignored other entry points and instead pounded on the bedroom door, whispering Irene's name with a chilling laugh. Irene listened as Kale calmly explained that it fed on her fear, urging her not to give in. He instructed her to take the dagger from his bed, telling her that beheading was the surest way to kill it. Though hesitant, Irene drew strength from Kale's experience battling the Valg and from her own resilience, remembering the mountains and seas she had crossed. Kale reassured her that they would face the threat together, weapon in hand, as they waited in tense silence. Suddenly, a crash and shouts rang out. The palace guards had arrived. They called to Irene and Kale, checking if they were safe. The guards explained that a servant girl had seen the broken door and fetched them, but when they searched the suite, they found no one else inside. The terrifying presence had vanished, leaving only fear and unanswered questions behind. Anxiety in this chapter.
This might be like the second best chapter of the
I
night.
know. They were both 27 too.
Oh,
Isn't that weird?
that is really weird.
And they were both was. You got the boring long one this week.
I
Poor
was like,
thing.
what
Poor
is
Megan.
this?
And you had to start and finish. Not your week.
It's okay.
At least we both had a double chapter.
Yes.
So we're even there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Irene spent the day healing these sick people. We get all these sad stories of the poor, a
Mhm.
woman suffering from a lump in her lungs,
Yeah.
sick kids,
I just wanted to
broken legs.
say that when this chapter started after chapter 26, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I
Yeah.
don't care. I know she's a healer.
Wow, Megan was pissed. Mostly probably pissed that you had to do notes for it.
Yeah. I go, watch me write this summary.
Yeah. You're like, that was fucking pointless. I'm like, well.
I
Sorry,
was
Megan.
just going to write 2 sentences, but I was like, all right, let me do an actual summary.
Yeah. Well, it was super fucking long, but I think honestly you covered everything in what
I
you
think
said.
the only thing
so.
I missed is like when he gets back, he like sees that guard that has like a metal arm or whatever. And he's like, wow,
Yeah.
maybe I should be more grateful about my life. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. He
But
does.
but
And
then
that kind of sparks what he does at the end of the section, but
yeah, but like he was still an asshole after that.
yeah.
To
He
Irene.
totally was to Irene. Yeah. But anyway, so she's healing all these people. We get this sad story of this abused little 16-year-old girl, which she knows she's abused, but she doesn't say anything. She leaves the marks on the girl. It's very sad. But she's drained of energy, hungry as fuck, but she still has this like restless energy and she knows something is just unsettled and she has to solve it. So she is determined to confront Kale. She makes her way
beat
back
his
to the
ass.
fucking yeah. She's ready to fucking round 2 with him and he's expecting it too.
Yeah, he says that.
Yeah. But on her way back, she feels this prickling sense, which she had in the library that night.
Mm.
So she hears this footstep. She starts fucking getting freaked out, hears his voice in her mind that she's never heard before, telling her to hurry up and then telling her to run. So she breaks out on a run. This thing is chasing her. She gets in the store, locks it. He's banging on the door. Fucking crazy, scaring the shit out of me. Kale's like, what the fuck is going on in the fucking wheelchair? He's like not scared at all, not showing any fear, which I love about Kale. He's so calm, cool, and collected. He's like,
Mhm.
you are safe. It feeds on your fear. Shut up, relax, take this fucking dagger, and let's fucking go.
Yeah.
But right as they're prepared, which I love too, because she's like, you're right. You've killed these before. I've fucking walked mountains and
Yeah.
seas to get here. I did the damn thing, did what I need to do to get here. I am not afraid either. I was ready for a fucking Irene to
Yeah.
have her first kill, but it doesn't have to come because the guards are called by a servant girl who sees the broken door and they come running. Everything's good except for this thing, whatever was chasing her, has disappeared
Yeah,
out of thin
going,
air.
Irene.
Yeah. And it was laughing too, like a chilling laugh,
It's like,
like,
ha ha ha,
Irene,
Irene.
Irene. Like, oh my
Oh,
God. I'd be fucking scared too. I'd be like, my name's not Irene.
I'm
Who's
like,
Irene? I don't
yeah,
know.
that's not me. That's not my name.
Yeah. Freaky. But we're safe. We're good
For now.
for now.
Tower of Dawn, chapter 28, and the last chapter of this evening.
Is it really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Why did I think there was two more for some reason? I don't know
Nope.
why.
Nope. We're
Yay,
done.
last chapter!
Woohoo!
Woohoo.
Prince Cashin arrived, and Kale and Irene, recognizing his voice, let him into the room. Irene explained that she was returning to bring Kale a tonic, liar, and that she felt like someone was following her. She told Cashin that she didn't know why this person would come after her, which was not the truth either. Cashin planned to join the hunt to find whoever had been hunting Irene and place guards all around near Kale's room and outside the door. Cashin wanted to bring Irene back to the tour, but she wanted to stay with Kale.
Mm-hmm.
Cashin did not seem pleased by this, and Kale
Mm-mm.
was shocked, but no one objected. Irene knew that Nezrin was gone, but she didn't want to sleep in Nezrin's room. She wanted to sleep in Kale's room. Irene took the bed as Kale would be taking the night
On guard.
shift to guard Irene while she slept. Kale felt like he deserved nothing in this life, but Irene disagreed with him. Irene also thanked him for willing to take a life instead of her having to do it. He had never looked at it that way, and he saw the pride and relief in her eyes when she said this. Irene would have taken the life, and Kale was not used to doing it either, even though he had been the captain of the guard and had been trained to kill. Kale watched Irene sleep for a long while. The next day, Kale went to train with the guards in the palace, wanting to learn from them, and then he returned to work with Irene on his healing for the next 6 hours, and after that, she returned to the tour under heavy guard that night. But the next day at dawn, he went to train and went the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. He's training with the guards again.
Yep. He's like, you know what? This is an opportunity to learn. I'm not going to be a sitting duck for these Valgs. I'm going to be ready next time they come
Yes.
to protect his girl, Irene.
Well, we already split up the situationships. We have Nezrin finally with Sartok, and we have Kale with Irene, but we're forgetting about poor Prince Cashin, who can
Yeah.
just not accept that Irene does not want to be his lover.
Well, honestly, she didn't before though.
Right.
Like, so he needed this reality check to be like, all right, I get it.
Kale
But
feels super
also,
bad. He can't even watch this interaction because she's so cold with him.
I know.
And she's like, "Yeah, no, I don't want you to walk me back. I want to stay with Kale. I feel safe here."
And he's like, "Grr," which I don't know. Is this going to be not so good for our aid in war?
I think Kale needs to play this very carefully, which he is. He
Hmm.
is being very respectful, but also this is what Irene wants.
Yeah,
So how can you object?
literally.
Then Irene gets into bed, which Kale's like, they changed the sheets, don't worry. And she's like, I wasn't worried. I know I'm better. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Irene thanks him for being willing to take the kill and make the kill for her so that she wouldn't have to do it. She had made a
Mm,
promise that she would never take a life. But in that moment, she knew she would do it if she had to.
yeah.
But she knows that Kale would have done it for her, where I feel like the killing was always, he says, was expected of Aelin always expected him to make a kill, and Dorian
Yeah.
expected it of him, and he was the captain of the guard, and his first kill was to save Aelin, but
Yeah.
I feel like it was the first time where someone really was appreciative of the kill or him taking the kill away from them so they
Yeah,
wouldn't
like
have
the
to do
almost
it.
like the burden of the kill.
Yes.
Yeah.
And being really thankful to him for it.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I deserve nothing in this life. And Irene's like, no, you do.
Yeah.
And so I
That's
just
all he
think
needs
this
to
was a
hear.
cute little moment between them. And then he watched her sleep, which
I
is
love
creepy and
Kale
cute.
and Irene. I love them together. They're a good match. Way better
Yeah.
than Nezrin. I was rooting for
I
Nezrin,
know you were. And I was like,
but well, I feel like they had a great connection at the end of the last book,
mm,
Queen of Shadows. Like they were
mhm.
ready to take on the fucking Southern Continent together and go on a crazy adventure, but it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah. Sometimes life pivots you in a direction you never saw coming.
Well, I feel like that was more like of a distraction, swipe everything under the rug kind of relationship, where this one is like, you need to face the fucking trauma head on. I'm going to
Mhm.
face mine. We're going to face it together, and they're going to bond over that, which is
Yeah,
great.
because I think both Nesrin and Kale would have babied each other and like never
Yeah,
made each other face their fears and their
exactly.
trauma. Where
Yeah,
I think Sartok and Nesrin will make each other have conversations, and the
yeah,
same with Kale and Irene.
exactly. To better understand each other and just fall a little bit harder. They're going to want to know everything about each other. I love it. And
And
Rolf's going to come around too. He's going to join the forces. And so is Manon. We're going to have this badass crew ready to fucking fight. And we're
yeah,
not going to think about any deaths in the
no,
future.
well, that's-
No, 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 not one.
okay, all right, and that's that.
And that's that. That's all we have for you today. Please let us know what you think by leaving us a review and comments on any of the platforms you are listening/watching on or on our social media pages. This helps tremendously to get the word out and lead more listeners to find our show and tune in. And come join our book club Discord. You can find the link in our bios on Insta and TikTok. And next, we are reading The Hunted Heir and The Rivaled Crown by Holly Renee. We're meeting February 1st. So get it done. We love chatting with you guys, so don't be shy.
Don't forget to email, follow, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and tell all your friends about us. And we hope the rest of your day is blissful.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Join us next time for part 6 of the Tandem Read by Sarah J. Maas, featuring Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. Happy reading!